Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Dan. And everyone else watching. This is reveal number 621. Going to be doing a 1960D original wrapped roll today. And this is the roll right here. Let's see, I've got sound going through. I've got video. Everything else appears to be thumbs up. So we are ready to get started. Hello, Jonathan. Good evening. Get this roll open here. Use my special little digger tool to get it raked open. So it often has to be the case with ones that have been rolled under. I'll tear up the paper. Got that end done. Now time to do the other end. Hope everybody's been having a good week. Having decent weather, decent times. Got your summer vacation on maybe. I have been quite preoccupied with a number of different things of late. I have not been able to do a lot of broadcasting, but here we go, getting things caught up, or working on it anyway. A little brown dust on the edges of the coins tells me that this has been wrapped up for all of the 50 plus, nearly 60 years these coins have been around. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. It will run through 3 reveals tonight. First coin, first roll here, goes to Mark. And Mark's coin, let's see what we have. Well, it's a nice clear looking earlier dice state 1960D Lincon cent. Let me roll in on it just a little bit more. Get a little sharpening effect here. Just a little bit anyway. It does look like a earlier dice state coin. Very early mid dice state. So if there's anything here, we're going to be able to see it. I'll check the first 10 coins on the reverse side. Otherwise, we'll just check the obverses on these. There are no known double die reverses for 1960D. It's a matter of trying to get to know. So we have a V-shaped die scratch right out in front of the brow on this one. V-shape with an I next to it, so VI. So it says Vi. This is my Vi die. I always try to name all my dice so I can get used to what I'm looking at as I go through a roll. Got nothing there. Let's take a look at the reverse. And got a lot of color on the reverse. Very nicely toned coin here. Roll ender. Got nothing showing on the reverse as would normally be expected. There is Eric, Carl, Mark. Good evening, guys. Well, Mark came in just in time to see his coin. Yeah, it's nothing really except that it's got some nice toning on it. It's got some pretty color on the reverse, which is the side that was sitting toward the outside. The side looking at the sun, anyway. All right, coin number 2, Roger. Roger's going to get coin number 2. Let's take a look at what coin number 2 looks like. It's got a little die crack down there on the bottom of the shoulder. We do have an RPM here. You can see it on the lower serif, and you can also see it on the inside of the vertical. Right there. Nice little minor repunch mint mark. This one is an identifiable and listable RPM, and it will belong to Roger. This particular example of it, if it doesn't swim away from me. Alright, and let's take a look at what else we have going on there. And there's Roger. What do you know? Okay, this one has a bunch of die scratches. Cracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 die cracks on the head. That would be one of the major markers for this particular die, I'm sure. Let me bring up the brightness just a little bit so that we have a better view of everything. I don't want to drown too much out. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work for us right there. You can still see everything. Alright, let's flip it over, take a look at the reverse. So this is our first RPM for the roll, second coin for the roll. Always check for the class 2 double die reverses. That's going to be doubled outside serifs on everything. Also watch for class 6, which will be the serifs will be elongated on the outside edge of everything. Anything you see here as doubling appears to be on the tops of the letters. It's going to be a reflection from the rim. You got to be sure you're looking around the reflections and that you're actually catching real doubling. So here's coin number 2. Coin number 2 is going to be our first RPM for the roll. Now coin number 3. That one goes to Sissy. Let's see what we've got for Sissy here. And is she going to get the same? Doesn't look like it. No die scratch there, but we do have a nice RPM, it appears. Yeah, we do. That is a nice RPM right there. It's not number 11. Not sure which one this one is, but it does have a full double of the vertical bar on the inside of the mint mark, which is not highly common. So this one's going to be pretty easy to identify. I don't know it right offhand, but this one is a nice RPM. So we have any doubling on the eye? Not that I can see. No. Nothing in trust. Nothing around here on Liberty either. So we do have a nice RPM. Let's check the reverse on this one. Just a 1 out of 10. I do have a roll of 1959D and a roll of 1970S to bring up tonight. So we've got a few different things to take care of today. Something to keep us busy and keep us entertained. Coin number 4 now for Dave. I see a lot of shine on these coins as they're going up under the scope, so there's a lot of prettiness to these. This one's a very slight split lower serif. Very slight split upper serif as well. This one may be a listable, but I'm kind of looking at it as probably not listable, probably not enough to list. Checking everything around it by changing the angle of lighting helps you determine whether or not you have anything of importance as far as doubling is concerned. There are some double die obverses known for 1960 Denver, but they are pretty well known and pretty obvious too. So if we see one of those, of course we'll know what it is, but you never know when you're going to find something that hasn't yet been discovered. Now, 1960D, I wouldn't necessarily expect to find anything that hasn't already been discovered because, man, there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of these rolls have been checked. There's a really nice marker right there for you. Big die gouge running through the STA of states. A couple of heavy die dots inside the E of states. So we've got some nice markers just in case this happens to be one that could possibly have been listed before. But my own personal assessment of this one is that it's not going to be a listable RPM. Unless it already happens to be listed. Give you one more good shot to look at the RPM right there. Oh, Stephen. Yeah, split lower and a little tiny bump on the top. Not much more than that. That's going to be coin number 4. I guess I can hold out examples of that die. There's one for Ant. My printer was a little cantankerous the other day, and, well, that's what we ended up with for names on some of these. Let's see. I got nothing on this one. This one appears normal. Maybe a little bit of a flat doubling on the bottom of the D, but that's just not enough to call. We're looking at this at hundreds of times normal size, which means we're getting quite a close-up look. And, well, we generally don't list anything in the files unless it's pretty easily visible with a 10x loop. And 10x would be, well, actually smaller than this microscope is even capable of. And that's the smallest our microscope is capable of, and you can barely see detail at this level. Hey, Crispy. So we're going to do this at this level here where it's easier for us to see everything. Might as well give ourselves every opportunity to discover new stuff when we're looking at these coins. So We're going to blow these up quite a bit. Make them quite obvious if there's anything on them. That's coin number 5, nothing on it. Coin number 6 is going to go to Parvez. Let's see what Parvez gets, coin number 6. Every once in a while, I really like to go through an original roll of 1960 just to see what we have. There is a little bit of doubling on the lower serif on this one. And I believe this could be that same die that we just passed back here on coin number 4 2 coins ago. Very minor lower serif doubling that we may or may not be able to list. We'll find out if we have that gouge running through the STA, and we do. And okay, so our 2 little die gouges in the E are not actually die gouges. Those were little flecks or something on the coin, but this is definitely a gouge. Underlining the STA states, or the ST barely running into the A, but it's definitely the same die as coin number 4. So we'll throw this one onto coin number 4 as a secondary example of this possibly listable, possibly not listable RPM minor thing, and move on to Farm Dog. Farm Dog will be getting coin number 7. This is another one of those. I believe it's going to be a match for coin number 1. Maybe. Coin number 2, I mean. Coin number 1 was Mark's toner, had nothing else on it. Check around here. See what we have. That first listable coin had that V die scratch. Had other die scratches out in Liberty. This is not the same die as coin number 2, so this is a new die for us to look at. Has a very thick appearance to the lower serif on the D. And I don't know if that little bump on the inside of the D at the top is a hit or if it's doubling. Can't really tell with this coin. We'd have to see another coin to see for sure to know. A die scratch is headed out of the bow tie into the field. This one also doesn't have the die cracks that coin number 2 had. Oh, number 1 had the V. Okay, number 2 had the skull cracks. Okay, so the skull cracks are what we'd be looking for on this as a match, and it's just not. So we'll have to kind of hit ourselves up with another marker here, and I think it's going to be those die scratches coming out of the bow tie. They look like die scratches coming out of the bow tie. See what we have on this side. And it doesn't look like we have anything. Just a normal coin on the reverse. So I'll take this one for Farm Dog, coin number 7 here. We'll put it off to the side as another RPM. We have 4 different RPMs in this roll so far. And this is only coin number 8. So it looks like could be a whole roll full of little RPMs here. None of them are really earth-shattering, mind-boggling, skull-bending RPMs. They're just kind of the classic little things that you generally find with 1960D. This one is a nothing. It's got a squiggly die scratch in the hair. I'll check the reverse here real quick. We're running out of coins to check on the reverse. Denver Mint never seen a double die reverse for 1960. Philadelphia Mint has a number of them. Why that dichotomy there, I have no idea, really. But coin number 8 has nothing. Let's check coin number 9 now of Paul Hampton. And what do we have here? It looks like there could be something going on in the upper right corner of the mint mark. It looks like maybe a little nub or something sticking up right there. That would be something I would have to confirm with at least one more coin of the same die. And I don't think I've seen another coin of this die. We do have a rather large die bump right out here to the east of the D. That could also be another die bump. It may not be doubling at all. Joy, some of these things, they're kind of minor, and they're kind of happen chance that they could be possibly something else. So it requires a little extra look. The B has a die chip on the inside of the lower part of the B. This will be one of our last coins that we check on the reverse, but we'll check this reverse just to see if we come up with anything, any important markers or perhaps doubling, but I certainly wouldn't plan on the doubling. I don't see much for markers on this either. Well, not much of anything. It's pretty clean reverse. Even though it's a late die state, it's a clean reverse. So we'll hold this out just in case we happen to remember to pick one out again. Stack it on top of that one. Here's coin number 10 for Dave Coleman. Let's see what we have here. Oh, now this one appears that it's going to match coin number 1. Or coin number 2, I'm sorry. Coin number 2. It should have a bunch of die cracks across the head. And there they are. So this is going to match the die on coin number 2. That'll work for us. Got that one. Coin number 2 and coin number 10. Same die. Stan comes up next, and coin number 11 shows us, oh, it's another. Do we have? We do. And so it's the same die again. So coin number 2, coin number 10, coin number 11 are all the same listable die. Coin number 12 now. We'll go to Stan again. And Stan the man. Different die. This one is that one that had the minor doubling on the outside lower edge on the left. And I believe this one could have been the one that has the die gouge on the reverse. We'll take a look at that real quick and see if that is what we have on here. And it is. We actually have an additional die gouge. This one appears to be a secondary stage from the one we just looked at. But it still has the gouge that underlines the S and the T into the A. So that would match up with coins numbered 4 and 6. That's number 12. Now number 13. Mickey. Mickey. What do we have for Mickey? Okay, do we have anything here? Oh boy, I'm seeing what could be just a really minor amount of doubling on the lower serif. It looks a little bit thick, but man, we just can't. We can't call everything. And that's going to be the VI die, so that's going to be the same as Mark's coin, coin number 1, just not an RPM. And we shall move on. We're doing really good. It's well over 50% right now. We've only got 4 normal coins, and we're up to 14. So that means we've got, what was it, 10 oddballs out there. Here's another one. This one's going to match coin number 7. This one's going to be a runner with number 7. It's got the thick lower with the doubling on the inside upper. And I thought that could have been a hit, but it's not. That's actually doubling up there on the inside of the upper part of the mint mark. I'm going to point to it right here, this area. Plus it's got this big fat lower. So definitely an RPM there. And this one's for Paul. It's coin number 14. We had coin number 7, which was Farm Dogs. Now coin number 14. Now number 15 for Sissy. That's 88. Okay. Very nice. Glad I'm finding stuff in here for people. Had kind of a dry spell last time I ran reveals. This one's going to match coin number 2 and 11 and 10. So this is our first die again. Should have a bunch of die cracks on the head, and there they are. So we got one for Sissy here. We're on coin number 15 now. Now we're looking at number 16. This one's going to go to Doug Rezak. And this one's got that little hook-looking thing on the right side of the mint mark. I'm almost ready to call it something now. Let's zoom in on it a little bit and see if it makes sense. It could be a little mark on the edge of the mint mark, and it also could be a little hook. It kind of matches the direction of the flow lines in the area, which kind of tells me it could be a little point with flow lines. Could be part of the overall damage on the die done by the flow lines. Really not sure on this one. It could be a hook. It could be a hook. But I'm not going to give it a whole lot of promise. I'm going to show it to Eric and see what Eric thinks. Let him take a good look at it, be able to twirl it around, look in different directions, and see what he sees. But it's going to match coin number 9. It's going to be our second example of this particular die. I'm going to move on to number 17 now. This one goes to Mike Hernandez. And I'm in too close. It's hard to position the coin. This one is nothing. And this one has a nothing signature on it. Hello, Eric. Is it math or math? Sometimes a name with an E on the end of it can kind of change the pronunciation a little bit. So I'm thinking it's either math or math. Math. Okay. Oh, at least I got that right. Hope you're having a great day. This is a Copper Coins roll reveal. It's where we go through a roll that has been pre-purchased. And we take the opportunity to go through the roll looking for oddities, die varieties, errors. Talking about, trying to educate a little bit on what to look for and how to look for things on the Lincon scent under a microscope or under a loop. I just show it under a microscope because it makes it easier. Here's one for Eric, and Eric gets one of those ones that's a die, the third die for the roll. Really fat looking lower. It looks like number 72-ish. Yeah, it looks like it looks. Eric, tell me if you think it's possibly a 72-ish. I'm thinking possibly number 72. This one will go to Eric. He'll be able to keep this one. This one is 88. Okay. I thought you were calling a different one number 88. So this is the one that's 88. Okay. Well, Eric gets a number 88. Mr. Math, we do a lot of things on this channel. Have a lot of fun. And it is definitely something that if you're a Lincon scent person, it's a place to be. Place to hang out. Not be judged for questions. Oh, look at that. There's another one of those ones with the secondary inner bar, vertical bar of the D mint mark. So this is another RPM. So this is going to be a copy of the one I believe went to Sissy as number 3. Yes. I don't know why my memory is so good tonight. Sometimes I completely botch it. Sometimes, most of the time, I do pretty well. Very, very seldom am I dead balls on perfect with my memory. So I will likely mess something up before the end of the roll. This is another of the first RPM in the roll. I could tell immediately because of that die crack next to the VDB. It's just one of those things you do. You start looking, start giving yourself the idea. So you're going to have the die cracks on the head. One of the markers for this particular die. I think this is the one I thought you were calling 88, Eric. Coin number 22. 22 now for Carl. Let's see what Carl ends up with here. And Carl gets a big nothing sandwich. Two bowls got you on the ropes. Oh, man. I'd hurt myself with jambalaya right now, too. That sounds pretty good. It'd have to be a good, well, properly cooked jambalaya. Real Cajun version. One jambalaya with shrimp. Oh, looky there. That's another one of those ones. And now Eric has corrected me on this one, saying that it is an 88. Number 88. So this one will go to Ant. Another RPM. Got a roll loaded with RPMs here. Mike. Let's see what Mike has. No shrimp, chicken and sausage. Is it andouille sausage? Real andouille? If it's real andouille, I can handle that, even with chicken. Chicken's not bad if it's spiced up right, but trying to eat plain chicken is kind of like trying to eat cardboard boxes. I'm not a fan of chicken unless it's spiced. Okay, this is the same as another one of the normal ones I've been pulling out of the roll here. Go throw in the towel on two bowls, huh? Somebody's weak. I didn't say nothing. I'm just a real big Cajun eater. I love that stuff. This is another one of the number 88 RPMs, I do believe, as Mr. Beyer was calling it, number 88. It's for Parviz. Congrats to Parviz. Coin 26 now. Back to Eric. Back to Eric for this one, and it is another one of the 88s. Another one. All right. Coin 27 now. Mr. Thomas. I like sausage, don't matter what. One of my favorite things to do is actually cook Italian dishes using Cajun sausage. I know you're supposed to use Italian sausage, but man, Cajun sausage just tastes so much better with penne pasta. Got nothing on this one. But when it comes to Mexican food, chorizo is the only way to go. I like big old tortas with chorizo in them. Put some pico de gallo in it. This is a different die. This one has, well, it's got a big lumber dent on the zero, on the bottom of the zero, the date, but it also has nice little split upper and split lower serifs. Very minor, but it's still there and still very visible. Oh, Lafayette. Nice area. If you're a mud bug. I like Louisiana. I love Louisiana's food. There's another one of those. That's actually kind of scarce one, I do believe. I don't know which listing number it has, but it has that doubling on the D on the inside. I think it's could be number 26, 27, 28, somewhere in there. 43. Well, I wasn't off by much. That one goes to Carl. Got 3 of those in here now. Crawfish. Crawfish étouffée. Alright, number 30. Orig. We're going to go visit Orig's coin here real quick. Let's see. He's got another one of those ones that matches coin number 2, so this one will have the die cracks. And it does. I think we got about 7 of those now. We are definitely going to be over 50% on RPMs here. Definitely over 50%. More than half the coins purchased in this roll are going to have RPMs. If we work out on the same rate that we're going on now, this one is a nothing. Yes, Cajun Coin Hunter knows me. Mr. Boluquet. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Not out of purpose. Just out of being busy and not really getting together much. He likes to do a lot of long broadcasts where you're just hanging out. And I can't generally do that. I got too many things going on. I get too busy and too wrapped up in my own little world. I don't do a lot of hanging out. I wish I could. There's another one of those ones with the doubling on the inside. Eric tells me that's number 43. For a good cause. I thought about getting into a little more hanging out and just kind of doing nothing much, but I just have such a hard time doing that. Maybe sometime when I'm doing something next to the microscope that I should be doing, looking through something, doing something like that, I'll give us an opportunity to hang out while I do that. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, this is hanging out, but it's a show with a purpose. I guess what I'm saying is a hangout show doesn't really have a whole lot of purpose. It's just, chit-chatting. And what I got going on here is more of a, well, you got to do this and got to do this. And here's another repeat of, I believe this is another repeat of coin number 1. Nothing on the die. Taco John. I do have a couple of things I need to do tonight. Maybe I'll just do a hangout tonight. Who knows? I got to get these 3 rolls done. And that's another one of the 88s or 82. I can't remember now. I think 88's what he said. 88. That's for Taco John. We got a number of these. Mr. Maeve, Eric has received your email. Just to let you know. Hey there, Hardcore Copper. Hey, you're a member and I don't recognize your name, so you must have changed your name at some point. Would you care to share who you were? So this is going to be another of, well, that very plentiful RPM that we have starting at the beginning of the roll. Roger's up next. Looks like I have a new name to remember. 2 of them, actually. Eric Maith, now part of the family. And we also have Hardcore Copper, whom I do not recognize by that name. Now, see, there we go. There's a 1960 DRPM that you're not going to be able to say you've seen every day, and I know that there's other ones in here that have not been. Oh, okay. Scotty Holland used to be together. Okay. That is an RPM to the north right there. You can see an extra bar on the southern part of the RPM. I think this is 93. Could be 93. I don't know. There's a few of those out there that are similar to one another. And I know I have other examples of that in this roll. I didn't notice it before, but here we are. And here's another. This one is a normal. This one is a normal. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different possible RPMs coming out of this roll. Big roll. Very nice roll. Hardcore Copper, you want to tell us your actual name so we know what to call you, or you just prefer to be called Hardcore Copper? Let's see here. That's another one with the little hook on the top right. That could actually be an RPM, but we're going to have to take a good look at it to see. HCC, gotcha. We'll do that when we're doing our auctions. By the way, we do have an auction coming up, and it's going to be tomorrow. I'm going through a bunch of boxes of associated and unassociated and mixed rolls, partial rolls, full rolls, and I'm just bundling them together for a bid. And we're going to have a lot of that come up tomorrow. That's another one of them. A little hook on the right-hand side. We are kind of overloaded on the number of rolls that we have that are just kind of, they're just kind of spares, just kind of sitting around. So that one's going to go on that pile. Coin number 42 now for Mr. McCumber. Dan, this coin is for you, sir. What do we have? Oh, it's another one of the 88s. You need Philly Mint. Philly Mint what? Got a year? Look at that. Struck through right there on the cheek. Right behind the eye. High cheekbone. Struck through. That's for Dan the Man. Coin Junkie knows you. A Coin Junkie knows you. You're good people. Coin Junkie knows you. You're good people. Coin Junkie, I got your message today. I have been, basically kind of balls to the wall doing some other things and haven't gotten a chance to get around to it, but I will contact you tomorrow or Wednesday. I know I've said this a bunch of times, but I'm tired of playing. Ready to do it. Ready to get her done. That's another one of them. Another RPM there. The 58 RPM. Are you talking about the 58 double die obverse? Got some interesting looking die cracks on this one. And that is the same as the others that I've been pulling on here on this roll. One for Jordan now. Let's see what Jordan gets. Got a right hook. Right upper hook. Right there. Right uppercut. Jab, jab, jab. Right hook, right hook. Remember that boxing video game from the 80s? From the late 80s? The one with 5 or so mint marks. I'm going to call that uncommon. There are some out there. I have probably found 20, maybe 25 of them in uncirculated condition through rolls. This might be. This could be. This probably is. No. It is not. It proved me wrong. This one has nothing. Yep, number 21. That's right. Punch him out. Boy, I remember we had a, I'll show you my age. I lived in East Memphis. We had a TG&Y not too far away from my house. We used to go up to the TG&Y to get candy, stuff like that. We'd play video games there, and it was that stupid boxing. I never liked it. I just played it because, well, it was there. 47, Paul. I got another one coming up directly after this one. It's going to be this 1959 D roll. It is a shotgun original bank wrapped roll on the inside of a bunch of foil and labels that appear to be as old as 1959. Yeah, we played Pac-Man 2 when we had a chance. It wasn't everywhere. Here's coin number 48 now. Doug? We'll be opening that 1959 D roll shortly after we get finished with this particular show. And then we have a 1970 S original bank wrap roll we'll be opening a little bit later tonight. Got 3 reveals in a row. Get yourself all charged up, get your coffee, you get your comfy seat, and have fun watching. Here's coin number 49 now. Back to Dan. Dan the man. What do we got here? Another right hook. A right uppercut. Jab, jab, uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. Knock him out. I like 70S a lot as well. Sissy is our last coin in this roll. Sissy's going to get one that has obverse toning. Got a lot of color on the obverse of this coin, and it is, well, not an RPM. Not an RPM. It does have color and some other various stuff on the obverse. And here we go. Okay, so to wrap it up, get us ready for the next roll. This is our normals here. So you can tell our normals comprise less than half of a roll, which means we have a lot of die varieties. I'm going to take these, I'm going to crisscross them so I can keep the dies separate for Eric in a stack. So I'm just going to crisscross these back and forth and back and forth, and we'll just go through and count the quantity of coins we have as die varieties. It's all this. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 coins. 32 coins are either definite or possible RPMs in this roll. So there'll be a lot of happy people here. All right, folks, make sure you look for the reveal number 622. It's going to be a 1959 D roll, this one right here. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes on that broadcast. You guys have a great one, and I'll see you then.